every time a politician wants to ban guns, there's an explosion in demand to buy guns, right? And so talk about CBDCs really as a marketing event that causes everyone to think about a world where they don't own their own money. And that makes them think, well, what kind of money could I acquire that I would own? And the most censorship-resistant monetary network in the world is Bitcoin. On the other hand, Bitcoin is the one network you can't control. Ted Cruz's famous line is, I like Bitcoin for the same reason the Chinese don't like it. They can't control it.
According to Executive Chairman Michael Saylor, the widespread development and enforcement of central bank digital currencies could have a positive effect on Bitcoin and potentially drive wider global adoption of the leading cryptocurrency. Saylor shared his views on CBDCs and how they could impact the adoption of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies during an appearance on the PBD Podcast. While many other crypto investors have expressed concerns about the impact of central bank-issued digital assets, Saylor believes such a move by the United States and other countries would be positive for Bitcoin. Saylor was reacting to statements made by U.S. Senator Ted Cruz, who recently warned that the digital dollar and other CBDCs could destroy the value of Bitcoin. Cruz believes that CBDCs will give governments too much power over citizens and make people wary of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. However, Saylor believes that as CBDCs become more popular and give governments even more power to control citizens' lives, people will search for an asset that is completely free from government dominance, and that asset is Bitcoin.
Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to drop your comment and observations in the comment section below. Thanks and enjoy the video.
Interest in CBDCs is just going to drive more feverish interest in Bitcoin. It's actually driving awareness, and Bitcoin is growing as people become more aware that they need something which is non-sovereign, store of value, nation-state resistant. So, and if there's hyperinflation, people want Bitcoin. That's why they are thinking about Bitcoin in Argentina or in Nigeria or anywhere in Africa right now. If there's moderate inflation, people that are sensitive to it will go for Bitcoin, and then the people that think the inflation will go away will look at it as an oddity. But money is it's a store of value, a unit of account, a medium of exchange, and then there's a fourth characteristic that we don't talk about. It's the thing that's not said. It's a system of control. So certain monies are easier to control than others. For example, we talk about gold as money, but you ever try to carry a gold bar through an airport?
Very heavy.
Try it next time. They won't let you through, right? In fact, if you tried to carry $100,000 of gold through an airport, not only would you not get through, but the assumption would be you're a criminal, you stole the gold, and they would just take it and keep it without a court order. Now, try to carry $100,000 of cash through the airport. You ever try that? Put it in a bag and just... you can put it in a bag, and as you're walking through the TSA check or the X-ray machine, just nonchalantly say to the officer, yeah, I'm carrying $100,000 of money onto the airplane, right? You won't get through. Now, not only will you not get through, they'll just take your money, right? They'll just take it, and the assumption will be you stole it, okay? So cash is a unit of control. Now, put $100,000 in a bank and try to wire it to someone, or just take it out and they're going to ask you why. Tell them it's none of their business. Try to send it to someone privately. Tell them you just want to send it to a numbered Swiss bank account, right? See how that works. That won't work, right? That's a system of control. A couple of stable coins have been getting shut down. Paxos's BUSD got a Wells notice. They got shut down, and Custodia tried to launch a bank. And they wanted to issue AVITs. AVITs were digital dollars, and they were digital dollars that were going to circulate on crypto networks. And the regulators denied that banking license, and it's about a 70-page denial letter, very articulate, and I read it all. I read thousands. I read all of the crypto legislation and all of the crypto litigation. So if you dig into that denial letter, which is very well written, and articulate, what is very clear is that the regulators say we're not going to allow the bank to form because we don't want someone to issue digital dollars that will circulate on crypto networks non-KYC. Evading our our anti-money laundering rules, our anti-terrorism rules, our know your customer rules. So it's clear that the regulators reject with prejudice the idea that you can circulate large sums of dollars without reporting that. Now, that's a political football, right? Because a lot of people in this country think that you should own your own money and you should have financial privacy and you ought to be able to do what you want with your money.
Senator Cynthia Lummis and Michael Saylor share the same viewpoint that regulators in the Treasury Department are against Bitcoin because they cannot control it. Saylor, the executive chairman of MicroStrategy, believes that government's quest for dominance over citizens will benefit Bitcoin instead of scaring investors away from it. According to him, the United States government does not know how to build a CBDC, and the widespread adoption of a government-issued digital asset in the U.S. faces opposition from many people and politicians. The discussion happened during an interview of Saylor on the PBD Podcast.
There's another group of people that don't agree, right? Ted Cruz is on the side of freedom. You ought to own your own money. Now, it turns out that if your money's in a bank, you're not going to be able to circulate it freely. It's controlled. And on the other hand, Bitcoin is the one network you can't control. Ted Cruz's famous line is, I like Bitcoin for the same reason the Chinese don't like it. They can't control it. Nobody can control Bitcoin. So if you're insecure about being able to own your own money, do you own it? And can you actually use it without asking somebody's permission? Then the solution is not gold, it's not silver coins, it's not stacks of cash, it's not money in a bank in the U.S., it's certainly not money in a bank in Lebanon, Argentina, anywhere in Africa. Those banks won't let you take your money out of the bank. Go look at Nigeria, $42 a day, that's how much you can take out of the bank. They're keeping your money. So the one network that you have that gives you a decent chance of owning your own money and then being able to spend it the way you want is Bitcoin. So I'm not worried about Bitcoin. I do think that there'll be a massive political fight over CBDCs. There's a technical challenge. Our government doesn't know how to issue a CBDC. We don't know how to issue digital currency. The people that are issuing digital dollars are the cryptocurrency people, right? Paxos knows how to issue a digital dollar, right? And the regulators sent him a Wells notice saying, shut it down. So the private market knows how to issue digital dollars. The government doesn't. The EU doesn't. The feds don't. And so even if they wanted to, they can't technically right now without somebody else's help. But as long as Congress is split, right, it seems to me quite clear there's a large faction, by the way, on the Democratic and the Republican side. I mean, Robert F. Kennedy, I don't think is in favor of a CBDC, nor is Ron DeSantis in favor of a CBDC. I don't think that politically it's going to fly in the near term. And in the next 2 to 4 years, I don't see consensus at the political level to impose a CBDC. But I think it's like that persistent boogeyman where people say, oh, it's coming, and the result is more interest in the antidote to it. So I don't think it's bad for Bitcoin. I think it's good for Bitcoin. I do think we ought to be concerned about money being used as a system of control. Is very disturbing.
Instead of focusing solely on CBDCs, Saylor suggests that we should be concerned about the government's potential to manipulate currency as a means of control. He recommends protecting ourselves from this by investing in Bitcoin, the top cryptocurrency. By doing so, we can have an alternative resource to rely on when governments use cancellation as a punishment for minor infractions, such as having dissenting opinions. This is similar to China's current practices. What do you think about Saylor's opinions and perspectives on CBDCs? Share your thoughts and observations in the comments section below. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.